Right, so for today's video, I thought we'd talk about Graham Potter because he is doing a fantastic job at Brighton.
Definitely,
and whenever I speak about Graham Potter to certain people, it's either I think he's amazing or I think he's or he's overrated.
Yeah.
So let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments, whether you think he's overrated, whether you think he's brilliant, because I think that's what we're going to discuss today.
I think that's mainly down to the team that he's managing at the moment.
That's the problem.
And
He goes so under the radar.
Yeah, and I don't think, like you say, under the radar, they don't know his history. Where we do know his history, don't we?
Exactly, yeah.
So I think that's a bit about it as well, really.
Yeah.
But when you got like Pep Guardiola saying that he's probably one of the best managers in the Premier League at this present moment.
Yeah. And tactically, like, a lot of people talk about him as amazing. But then every time, like, for instance, Everton job come up, the Newcastle job come up.
Spurs
job come up, United.
I'd want him at Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're happy with Conte.
yeah, definitely, yeah. But I'd have took him if they a surprise bang.
Yeah. If they said at the end of the season, Graham Potter's going to be our manager at Man United, I'll go,
you'd
go
be
on
happy.
then.
Yeah, I think you would be happy.
After watching how although they lost 2-0, battered us.
Yeah.
With 10 men, we looked like we were lost 10 men.
You were just telling me that up until then, they got the best away record in the league. Up until then.
They only lost one game before that.
I mean, unfortunately, I think we know what, looking at the records of Brighton, they draw a lot of games.
That's the problem, yeah.
And I think that's down to his tactics as well, because we keep what we got. You've got to beat us.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll take you on the break or something like that.
Yeah.
So he sets up a really good, strong side, and he plays with his strengths. He plays within the squad.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing.
I think
over his history of what he's done in the past.
Yeah, I think their biggest problem, the reason why they are sat like 9th right now and not pushing for those top fours, one is their striker. I don't think they've got an out-and-out goal scorer.
No.
I like Neil Maupay, but he's more of a supplier. He does score the odd goal, but they need that out-and-out goal scorer.
They need someone who's lethal, don't
they? They need like a Danny Ings, somebody like that who they can rely on to score on every other game, which will turn those draws into wins.
That's right.
And I think occasionally, although he sets them up really well at the back, they leak some silly goals.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the problem. When we've seen the United goal where Lewis Dunk actually got sent off, it's a silly goal to concede. The Ronaldo one you couldn't really do much about, but Elanga being so high press, which is very unique for Manchester United, and they just caught him out.
Yeah.
It's, and then obviously, the second goal came later on, but it put them down to 10 men, which put them on the back foot. And it's goals like that I think is the reason why we're not saying, Brighton's like pushing the top four.
I mean, they're a good side. They're a good entertaining side to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can't blame them because they're not going to fork out 50 million on one player, are they?
Yeah, that's it.
One,
they can't
afford that.
Yeah.
And two, at the end of the day, they want to survive. And if they're in the Premier League and they're coming up middle of the league at the end of the season, that to them is a big tick. That's result done. We're still in the Premier League. We've done well.
100 million a year, whatever it is.
That's right. Yeah.
In TV rights and like prize money. So I mean, they're not being silly with money, are they? And turning into a club where if they did end up going down, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because of all the money that they're spending.
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
They are being clever. But as a manager, I think with the resources that he's got, with the money that they're giving him, I think he's doing an exceptional job.
I mean, I can remember him when he was a player.
Yeah.
He had a
Southampton?
Yeah, Southampton. He played in the Premier League for Southampton, but he started off at Birmingham.
Yeah.
And it was a shame because I was reading about it as well, and they crucified him. The fans crucified him. They were booing him every time he touched the ball. I mean, he had a few bad games and all that, and he was a young lad that he started coming through, and it sort of knocked his confidence down a bit. But he's played for Stoke, he's played for West Brom.
Yeah.
And he's played for a couple of lower teams as well, and at the end of his career. But he played in the Premier League. He wasn't a bad player.
I think was it a statistic that he's won one Premier League game and it was against Man United.
Yeah, it was.
I've seen that in like 96, whenever it was. I can't remember what it was, but I think that was the case. But I mean, as opposed to like whether he's overrated or whether he's actually brilliant, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I can see why people think he's overrated. I just really hope that he gets a chance at a big club where he's backed.
Well, he's proved his money in gold, really, or weight in gold, should I say, where he went to, who was it,
Östersunds in
took
Sweden.
them over. Do you know they were the most hated team in Sweden when he went there?
Yeah.
They had gone down through the leagues, they were in the lowest league, and it was a surprise that who's this manager coming over, Graham Potter? You know,
yeah.
Who is this? You know,
because you never see an English manager go abroad, do you?
And at the end of the day, you know, I've never heard of that team before he took over them, really. So,
no, I haven't.
But you know, he went there, won 3 promotions.
Yep.
Got him into the
Europa League, was
got
it?
Him in, keep the knockout stages of the Europa League.
Yeah.
So you know, he proved with this team that he had there, they weren't a very good team.
No.
But he knitted them as a team. They played as a team type of thing, and they played for each other, and they just played so well. They went up 3 promotions, got into the top league, and then they're in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's when I first heard about him. Because I was too young to remember him as a player, or like, you know, maybe he didn't play at a level that I would have seen or something.
When I read about it that he'd gone over there, it was one of those things where you just think, oh yeah, finished his football career, done all his badges and all that, and you know he's gone abroad to manager.
Yeah.
I don't like to say it, but in an easier league.
Yes, yeah.
But hey, 3 or 4 seasons later, he's in the Premier League.
Yeah. And I mean, props to Brighton to taking a chance on him.
Yeah, definitely.
Really, and it's paying off for them because you know they had Chris Hughton.
Yeah.
Good manager, got him in the Premier League.
I liked him.
Yeah, I like Chris Hughton.
I thought it was a bit of a shame that they sacked him at the time.
Yeah, but you know, replace him with Graham Potter. I was like, I don't know who that is. And then I was like, oh, that's the Osterunds guy, right? Okay, I remember that. Remember seeing that story.
Yeah.
But I mean, all he's done ever since has impressed me.
I read a funny story about it as well when he went there. He got on the plane from England to fly over to Sweden, and it was in December. He flew over in December, and it was in the middle of their winter season.
Yeah.
And he didn't realise. And he got there, and it was -20. They never had no coach and nothing like that.
No.
And it was him, his wife, and his family, and they were absolutely freezing. His wife said, "We got to get some blankets quickly," and he never came out of his house until February. So warming up. He just didn't know what conditions, because they're a ski resort. That's what they are, really. So he just didn't sort of look. I don't think he'd done his homework where he was going.
No.
He just thought, "I'll go there." That's it.
I bet he does his homework now.
Oh, I bet he does. Yeah. So when I read that, it was so funny.
But what do you think is his limit then? What do you think, if we're talking like club wise, could he go to a Liverpool, Man City, or a title winning team, or is his limit the Europa League teams?
No, I think he can go one of the top teams.
Yeah.
I think somewhere along the line, might be a couple of more seasons at Brighton, he'll go up to one of the top 5 or 6 teams.
Yeah.
Might not be the top team.
Like a Tottenham, Arsenal, United, one of those 3.
And he might use them as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And then I think the stage then could be whether he goes from there to the top 3 teams.
Yeah.
And win a league or something like that, or England.
I was just going to say to you, could you ever see him as an England manager?
Yes.
I could too.
Definitely.
If somebody said to me now, who, not to say when, but who do you think would be Gareth Southgate's successor?
Doing well at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. I would go, well, it's got to be Graham Potter. Because there's no other person, maybe Eddie Howe, but
he might stay there at Brighton until the England job comes up.
Possibly.
You know, he may not take that step up.
Yeah.
He might think to himself, no, when I do step up, it's going to be one of the top 5 teams.
Yeah.
And I want to go for the title. And then in between waiting, the England job might come up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes when they pick these managers, the England FA, they do surprise you, don't they? And they do go to the lower teams in the league because he's an English up-and-coming manager.
Yeah, and I think
definitely see him playing for England.
Oh, yeah, managing England.
Yeah.
I think so too. What about then, my final question for you, he's already gone abroad with Sweden.
Yeah.
Which means he's not afraid to do that.
No.
If a big European club come up...
I haven't thought of that, yeah.
Do you think he'd go?
It's a good question.
Maybe a Real Madrid, a Barcelona. Possibly not those, because I think now they kind of stick to their roots, don't they? Like Xavi's come in, it was Koeman before.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Maybe Italy would be one. Could you see it?
I think, yes, I think he would.
I think he would.
Yeah, I think he would.
I just don't know whether they would.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he'll obviously want to stay in the Premier League, I think, because it's obviously the best league in the world.
Yeah.
But I think if one of the top teams comes in, he'd be silly not to, wouldn't he?
Yeah, yeah. It depends, obviously, on the situation. Yeah.
Because that could be the stepping stone that he wants to come back to the Premier League again.
Yes.
In one of the top teams.
Yeah.
To show that he can do it abroad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question.
I know it's really like, what ifs and stuff like that, and probably unlikely. But I think the perfect club for him right now, at the end of the season, if rumours are true, and if I'm wishing,
I know what team you're going to say. Yeah.
If Ten Hag moved to United, he would be perfect for the Ajax job.
Yeah.
such a good style of play.
Yeah.
The way that he plays, very similar styles of formation. They blend from like a 3 at the back to a 4 to their midfield interchanges.
A good youth academy
with
type.
a fantastic youth academy.
Yeah.
With a little bit of money to resource.
Yeah.
It's not something that I think will happen, but I would love for it to happen.
It's a drop down in league, isn't it?
Yes, but to go to a big European club.
To see where you'd be in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Or one of the European leagues to play and probably be the Champions League. It should be, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a good shout, that. I like that.
I would love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I would.
See how he does.
What about you guys? Would you see him at another club? Let us know. Make sure you subscribe. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!